picking the right things to match up with the vision was very, very hard for me. And I didn't know what to do sometime. And when I was doing it, the season itself, I think, was just beautiful. Starting out a podcast is very, very challenging. For somebody that don't know anything about right mic, right camera, it was very challenging for me. Thank you for just sharing the space with me and just help me to navigate through it. We go through life not knowing what others are going through. We walk by them daily, not able to fathom the depths of the struggle they face. I am Tamara Gordon, and this is Tea with My Sweet Gratitude, a safe space where I'll be having unfiltered conversation with ordinary people with incredible stories and life experiences. Not only will I be speaking with others while they share their story, I am privileged to share my remarkable story of motherhood, wrongful imprisonment, and the wisdom I've gained and the journey to self-love. So stay tuned to this channel and let today's conversation begin. Sweet gratitude shining down on me. Welcome to Tea with My Sweet Gratitude. I am your host, Tamara Gordon. And today I'm going to do something so different than I usually do. I'm going to have a solo episode by myself, recorded it by myself and everything. I've never done that before. But I'm here today to do a recap of season 1. First, I want to thank you guys for watching season 1 and supporting me through it. Starting out a podcast is very, very challenging. First, you have to pick the right this, the right that, and it's awful. For somebody that don't know anything about right mic, right camera, it was very challenging for me because I see it in the vision how I want it to be. I didn't just want to sit in a corner and just do a podcast, and that's okay. It worked for some people. I just have a very detailed vision of how I wanted the podcast space to look like and feel like. And no, it's not perfect, but it's the way that I saw it in the dream. And I tried to capture it as best as I could. So picking the right things to match up with the vision was very, very hard for me. And I didn't know what to do sometime. And when I was doing it, but I did hire a company that somewhat guide me. They didn't do as best as they should do, but they certainly collect for it. I'm not going to talk about that in detail, but I have some run-in with some uncircumcised Philistine that didn't do their job properly. However, the season itself, I think, was just beautiful for me. So I want to do a recap today of the different episode, and I have my episode book here from my guests, my wonderful guests that show up to support me when I was so new and I didn't know what I was doing, and they just show up, and I want to thank each and every one of them. So my first episode, I actually traveled for that episode, and that episode is called The Crime of Love, From Love to Prison. And I did that episode with Lateris Whitfield, my future wifey. I was very, very nervous. First of all, it was my very, very first episode, and here I am sitting in front of a person who's done this over and over again. And I have never done it before. And I'm sitting in front of him. I was starstruck. And on top of that, very, very nervous about telling the story. So if I were to rate it, I think I could do a little bit better, but I'm not going to beat up on myself because I was very shy and all of that. But I think it was okay. When I finished the episode, I said, "Oh, I could have said this. I didn't remember this. I didn't." And I was just nervous. I was frozen. It couldn't tell because it make it look so easy because he was laughing with me. We were just goofing around at some point, but it was such a serious story. and powerful too. And I believe if I wasn't as nervous as I was, I would have done so much better. But I really, really love that episode. So thank you, Lataris, for doing it with me. Thank you so, so much. My second episode is the journey of resilient and hope and personal growth with no other than the people's pastor, Reverend Marie Burbick Bailey. When I think about Rev episode and watch it, I just think, let's say, I didn't know that Rev was so, so funny. But Rev, oh, she is hilarious. Like, sometimes I think about that episode, I think about it was just funny and nice, but very, very impactful that she could go through all of that and still standing and just doing work for God. But one part about Rev's story that really have me laughing all the time, and one of my friends could attest to this, when Rev said the prophet said to her, call and said, anything yet, woman of God, anything yet? So I'd call my friend and she's doing business with me and I'll say, anything yet? And just laugh because it's funny. I always remember Rev when I say that. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful episode. So Rev, thank you so, so much. Just thank you for just sitting with me and be the first one to do an episode in this space, actually. And you're my first guest in here. Thank you so much for just believe that I know what I was doing, even though I didn't know what I was doing. But thank you so much for being here with me and for being so funny. And don't change that. And I think you should show that funny side a little bit more. Thank you so much, Rev, for sharing my space with me. Episode 3, The Purpose of Adversity. That alone is such a strong, strong title, and it speaks to Yvette very, very dearly. But what I love about Yvette's story is the way that she shared her story. She was so open, and but how Yvette used her story to really change life and influence people, that is just phenomenal to me. The way she is with her ladies that God has given her to serve, that is just beautiful. But I love the way Yvette show up, and Yvette was just, she was just said, here I am, use me, and we just let it flow. And again, the I'm not good at the interviews. I don't, and the right question, sometimes the question will pop up in my head. Sometimes I get nervous and I don't know what to ask. But this episode was very, very, they just flow. All of them, I believe, in the right place. I just didn't have to script too much of anything, and it worked out nicely. And I just want to thank Yvette for really, really showing up, and also I want to thank Yvette for helping me. I was really, really backed up on launching podcast and doing everything, and I was really backed up. And some of my volunteers, they weren't available at the time when I need them, and if it show up with her ladies, like they just said, okay, we're going to help you to write these prison letters and we're going to send them out on time to make sure they're out. And I want to thank her for that. And she didn't wait until I get to her to get the cards or anything like that. She went out and she did that on her own and get it and just follow my guideline. And so much thanks for that, Yvette, that you show up for me to support me when I was really, really panicking, because I've never been late sending out any cards, birthday, anything like that, and especially Christmas or anything like that. I've never really late, and I was really, really falling behind. And so thank you. But I know I'm supposed to talk about the episode, but I just remember that, and I just want to thank you for that as well. But thank you for just sharing the space with me and just help me to navigate through it. And just, it was a beautiful, beautiful episode. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless you richly. My other episode that I'm really, really just, I love, episode 4, Rediscovering Identity. And that episode is with no other than the Power Talk gang, Sheena Anson. When I think about episode, a matter of fact, I want to thank Sheena for supporting me through even vetting some of the guests, because I met Rev through Sheena, and that was nice that she's willing to share her space with me or even share a guest, and that was just beautiful. And Sheena is like a sister, and I really really do love her so much. But the episode with her was so powerful, but I feel more relaxed because she sort of lead the podcast, because I didn't know what I was doing. Again, I did not know the question to ask, but I would ask a little thing, and she would just really, really, she show up. I don't think anyone know that I was struggling, but in my head, I'm sitting in front of Sheena again, and oh man, she's done so much episode before, and in her life, and I'm saying, and I'm here interviewing her, talking to her about her story, and so it was a little nervy, and I was a little shaky about that, but I think I pulled through beautiful with that, and I think the episode itself was just nice. It really, really was. Sheena, thank you so much for being so kind and generous to me. Episode 5, The Fate to Move Forward, is with Minister Latoya Edwards. Latoya's episode was very, very moving to me because her story is what a lot of ladies are facing, but they're afraid to talk about it. It's the abuse of a man that she loved and married. And it just, it was just wrong on every level. But how she have to escape him by going into the army, which was just a powerful story in its own, because a lot of people try to run away from being in the army, but she run towards it to save herself and her child. And I think that was really, really beautiful, and just beautiful just to sit with her. It's just so much power coming out of that story that could really bless a lot of us, and just enrich our life nicely, I believe, if we listen to it. And if you've not listened to it and it's the first time you hear me talk about it, go and check all of these episodes out, because you'll learn something, because all of these guests are just phenomenal. And Episode 6 is Victim on Trial. And this episode sort of speak to my heart, because I feel like I was a victim too on trial, so I could relate to Robin. And this episode is with Robin Gibson. And I could relate to her because I was a victim on trial. Robin was abused, and Robin was victimized by the justice system, the workplace, and the man who did this to her. But every single person who she'd passed down during this time when this happened to her, the hospital people, they judge her. The social worker, you see how they judge her. The victim advocate, who's supposed to be a person who stand up for her, they judge her as well. So she was really, really on trial. She lost everything and have to start over. And then on top of all of that, the person just get a slap on the wrist. I think this is just painful. And every time I think about that, it really makes me so sad, because no one, no one deserve to be treated like that. But it's not new to me, because I've been through the justice system like that. It's supposed to protect us, but it did not. It did not protect me, it did not protect Robin, and it did not protect many others as well. And I'm not saying that everybody that go through it have the same kind of treatment, but here we are, that we cross path with the same treatment from the justice system. And that is really, really sad. So that episode was one of my saddest episodes that I've done. And I think about it a lot, because it's so wrong because I'm still learning to forgive all of the people who wronged me because it really, really put a dent and it's impacted my life. And I'm trying to pick up the pieces of that, what the awful disdain that it leave on me. So my heart goes out to you, Robin. I am so sorry for everything that you've been through, everything that you have to suffer, and every struggle that you've been through. I pray that God find you new strength each and every day to just get through it. And I know that there's still triggers that affects you daily, and I understand that those triggers very, very well. And I just pray that you just find a middle ground to learn how to deal with them as best as you can because you are so beautiful and there's so many ladies that really are counting on you to really, really just continue to live in your strength and continue day by day to heal. And I want to thank you for just sharing your story, even though it was very, very hard. And I want to apologize too. When doing the episode, I didn't take into account that I was going to have gentlemen in the podcast with us recording. And I know that you were very nervous about that, but he was so warm, and but still, I think it affects the interview a little bit because we'd record some parts of the interview before and some part of the stuff that we didn't say that we could have said, but because I know that he was here, I didn't want to push, and I apologize for that. And I think you did beautiful. You were so brave, and you were just awesome. Thank you so much for showing up for your sister, and just bless all the other ladies that's going to listen to your episode in Ale. And I think it's one of the episodes that people really, really relate to. And I have even gentlemen said that they've been through what you've been through. So if it changed one life, then it's something worth leaving behind. So thank you so much for a beautiful, beautiful sit down with me. I love you so much, Robin. Thank you. Hi, I'm Tamara Gordon, and we are inviting you to be a part of our growing community of strong, resilient women. Follow us on our YouTube and TikTok channel at Tea with My Sweet Gratitude, and don't forget to listen to us on all major audio platforms at Tea with My Sweet Gratitude. Subscribe, and you will never miss an episode of empowering story and healing wisdom. So join me with a cup of tea as we embark on this journey of gratitude, healing, and hope together. Thank you. And the next episode is my own solo episode, Are You Ready to Heal? That episode, if I were to do it over, I would do it differently because I feel like when I was sitting in front of that camera that day, it was so much going on with my head. I wasn't really thinking about what I was supposed to say, what I'm supposed to do. I was just rambling, I feel like. But I hope it finds you with a little bit of peace and hope you take something from it. But I could hear the nervousness in my voice because I was thinking about everything else that was going on around me except for what I need to be doing. So, and I know that I have so much things inside of me to teach about healing because I am continuously in healing process with myself and just how to take care of me and what I do and how I'm doing it. And I'm no way where I want to be, but I'll tell you something. I am so, so close than or further than I was because here I am sitting here even talking. That's tremendous healing for me. But I wish I'd explained them better about the different things I do to heal, and I'll do it. Hopefully, I'll launch the Healing Art course very soon, and then I could talk about those things in there, and I'm open to do a lot more live so I could connect with my people more and just get out there so I could be hoping to talk about those things as well. So that's that for that episode. And I think, just I was learning and I'm trying to analyze the camera. And when they turn on, I have all the right words in my head, but when the camera turn on, I'm just gone. And that's what happened to that episode. But thank you for watching. And for those who've never watched it, please go watch it and support your sister. Episode 8 is The Grace to Forgive with Mitzi Cross. Mitzi's story is really, 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 really sad. But how Missy was able to forgive, that was really second to none. Because most of the time when people hurt us, we walk around them and we process them in our heart, but not mix it cross. She did not do that. She said, you know what? He hurt me, but I was not going to let that anger and bitterness kill me. For a man to have so many outside children, so many other love affair, and to have you in the house as what I don't know. It really, really was sad to know that we treat our partners like that. And, but Missy survived that. She is really, really phenomenal and a great friend. And I really, really love Missy. And I just ask that you continue to pray her strength and just, if you know any ladies that this episode could really benefit, please go check it out and just watch it. You'll learn something from it because sometimes we hold on to things and we don't let go. But she didn't do that. She was hurt. She did what she needed to do. She did what she felt she had to do. And she moved on after that. And she raised her children and raised the children that he have outside too. And I want to thank you for sharing your beautiful episode with me. Thank you so, so much. Episode 9, The Courage to Surrender with Ty Miles. Ty. Ty is such a breath of fresh air. Ty is one of the ladies that I met during my time when I was imprisoned. She was a strong force there, really, really strong and so, so powerful in her own rights and had a phenomenal voice. And I remember just because prison is really, really rough. And if you don't find something, it will eat you alive. I'll tell you that. But song is how I connect with anything. If I'm feeling something, I could just listen to a song and it'll make me feel better about whatever it is that I'm thinking about or feeling bad about. And in that dark, dark, horrible place, a lot of times I just wanted to just melt away into the walls and just die. And it's true. And at the same time, I have to try to be brave and not show that I'm feeling that. But it was really, really rough. But her voice, it was phenomenal. And when she was just there and singing, sometimes I want to run, sometimes I want to hide. Sometimes I want to run away from the pain inside, but it's your business. Do what you want to do. But if it don't work out, here's what we're going to do. Just hold on. And when she sing those words, or I'll ask her to sing it when she's not singing, and I'm sure sometimes she's tired of me, but she never say it. She always just do it. I want to thank you for not even knowing that you helped me to survive through this awful time. And I want to thank you for this beautiful episode. I don't think I'll do anything different except I would have a part 2 because most of the things that we want to talk about, we didn't get to talk about because I tell you, when you break down in the end, I just was done and I could not move on from that. And I just have to say, okay, I have enough because I just didn't want to melt away in front of my audience because it would be a wrap because it was just so sad. And I want to thank you, Ty. Thank you so much for just blessing me with your present in that day. And I'm humble. I'm so humble, so humble to be sitting in front of such brave ladies and gentlemen to share their stories and just humble. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. This episode of Tea with My Sweet Gratitude is sponsored by My Sweet Gratitude Cosmetics, your go-to for affordable luxury that celebrates your healing journey. With quality handmade products made with rich, creamy, moisturizing ingredients and a special customized blend of herbs that will leave you looking, smelling, and feeling absolutely beautiful. As a listener of Tea with My Sweet Gratitude podcast, you could enjoy a 10% discount by using code T at checkout. Visit our website at mysweetgratitude.com. Thank you for supporting Tea with My Sweet Gratitude. We will see you soon. Episode 10 is how to heal the spirit with herbs with my own Grandma Nancy Andrews. If I have to describe Grandma Nancy as one word, I would call it energized. She's like an energized bunny to me, honestly, but a true healer. There was a time when I was so afraid of going to the church, and I've mentioned this into Latira's interview, but I didn't go into details. It's not that I was afraid. I was going to church and I was doing the right thing like I think I should, and I have a pastor that I counsel with, but the people they talk about, oh, it's her. She acting like she's bougie, but she just come from prison, and they really put me down to a point where I stopped going to church. Just stop. I didn't want anything to do with church people. I just did not want anything to do with them because they were full of hypocritical mockery and gossiping tendency. And I didn't want any part of that because they were adding to my struggles. But I learned about Grandma Nancy through my ex. And she really take me under her arm. But one thing we didn't mention, why you want me to talk to Grandma Nancy is because Grandma Nancy was a guard at a federal prison for years. So she worked there as a prison guard. And so he wanted me to talk to Grandma Nancy because of that, to get from the other side, how it works. And she was so tender, and the way she used to help the inmates with even socks, smuggle them in and bring socks when they were cold and stuff like that. It was just phenomenal how Grandma Nancy was able to do that. But the healing part about herbs that we were talking about, and stones and all of those natural healing thing that people will tell you, oh, you can't use herbs to take a bath in it, or you can't use stones because it's not of God. Well, I have news for you. If you think that it's not of God, then you don't know God. Because God created all of these rocks, all of these herbs, all of these natural stuff before we start going to different things. And I get it. Some people use these things for just demonic purposes. But when you have a true healer that believe in God and using these herbs to heal their mind, their bodies, their spirit, it saved me. Grandma Nancy really have a big part in my healing. And I'm talking about a girl that was jumping from one psychiatrist to another, from one therapist to another, that sent me into a tailspin. And yes, I help. I am like 50% of my healing because I really start studying back the herbs again and just get master herbalism, on my, just for fun, really, I study it because I know a lot about herbs for years and years. If you know me, you know that you could come to me for herbs. I used to suffer from migraine and I use herbs to cure that. But what I didn't understand is how you could implement the herbs into the burning of the house and stuff like that, or to just clean your energy. I didn't quite get that part, the go outside and hugging of the tree, to just integrate with natural stuff. And Grandma Nancy sort of really refresh me and let me want to study more and more and more and more to help myself, because if it wasn't for that, I would not be sitting here today having these conversations, talking to you. I'd probably be in a mental hospital or something like that, because it's hard for a person like me to come back from prison and still surviving. I, whew, I have to fight my way back. And I'm still fighting, because there's a lot of struggles and a lot of triggers and a lot of everything. But Grandma Nancy really helped me how to deal with some of those, with different things, to hold a rock into my hand, to carry one in my pocketbook if I feel safe, go out and I have something to hold on to, a piece of nature. And Grandma Nancy had mentioned about picking up rocks. And I didn't know that I would turn around using rocks to shower. My daughter, when she was younger, every single place we go to, she would bring home a rock every single time. And we have so much rock. As a matter of fact, it was when she probably like 21 or something like that, and we're moving out of, I end up throwing away all those rocks, because I kept them, because she would give them to me. But I didn't understand what I was supposed to do with them. If I know that rocks and different stone was going to play such an intricate part in my healing, I would have all of those rocks. I would have probably built something with those rocks, because that was a foundation that I didn't even pay attention to. So, Grandma Nancy, thank you so much. I really, really enjoy you being here, sitting down, having tea with you, just to get you and right here with you and to take you back. That was really, really fun for me. And I love you so, so much. And I honor what you do, and just continue to heal all the ladies that God, and gentlemen too, that God put in front of you. You're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you so, so much, Grandma Nancy. What if I told you that your darkest trauma are the gateways to the deepest form of self-hate, but through it you can find healing? Would you believe me? I am Tamara Gordon, and I help women through their most severe challenges with the power of empathy and sweet gratitude. As a wrongful convicted woman, I survived prison only to find my greatest calling to date. After mentoring and ministering to hundreds of women behind bars, I realized that there are three critical things my dear sisters need to become whole: love, safety, and most of all, community. Join me and hundreds of other women on this challenge. I will send you one sample email each day with one action to take, and if you stick with me, I guarantee you your life will change. The Healing Heart Challenges is a safe place for women who are determined to reclaim their position at their homes and community. Join me today and let this transformation begin. Episode 11, The Confident to Love Yourself, with Miss Candace White. That episode is just a perfect title, because Candace is self-love all day. And, but to go through what she's been through with her ex, and how closed off she were, and then she reemerged, that's just phenomenal. But how she implemented into her daily life now, and how she embraced everything, all of the flaws that people think were there. People think it was an imperfection. She didn't think so, but she embraced it so well. And let me tell you something, that girl is shining, and she's encouraged me so much to just do what I need to do. And I want to thank you, Candy, for just being a constant support through all of this podcast nonsense. Just thank you for just being there with me, all of the struggle behind the scene, that stuff that people don't know, the times when I want to cry, and just thank you. Thank you. And that's it for the episode, but I want to give a special shout out to Jody, and she'll be on this upcoming season, hopefully, if she get out of her head. But I want to thank you, Jody, for every single cake that you provide for me and my guests when they were here. Thank you so much. And I pray that God continue to expand your business, because it's not just a cake, it's just the best cake ever. And everyone who ever tried it always wanted. And matter of fact, we have end up shipping cakes to people and our guests and stuff like that when they go back, and it's just phenomenal. Thank you so much, Jody. But thank you for supporting me and just keep your girl on track. And I know you're probably so proud of me now to see me launch, because I had the vision and I didn't do anything about it. And you were one of the persons, you and Kiki, that would push me and said, "Oh, girl, get up and do it. Just get up and do it. Get a phone stand and a ring light and just sit and talk." And I just, thank you for that. Even though I didn't get a ring light and a thing, a matter of fact, I did get a ring light. Kiki made me do it. Get a ring light, and it just wasn't the vibes that I was looking for. And I know it take longer than people, you guys anticipate, but it's well done now in my head. I think I'm on a road to somewhere, and I am excited to be in this journey. And last but not least, well, not last but not least, the next persons I want to thank is my family, my daughter and my son, especially my son. Some of the time when I was feeling very, very flat, he would encourage me so, so much. And I would be feeling burnout and I didn't want to do this. And he would say, "Okay, mommy, you got to do it. You got to do it this way. And if you sit down and you're tired, maybe you could stop and record and stop again." And thank God I never have to do that. And we don't have to do any of that. But I want to thank him for supporting me. He's 9 years old. And he act like he's 90. So the conversation they have with me, I don't know if I have those conversations with anyone. But he's just my biggest support. And I love you so much, Tate Tate. I love you so much. And love you too, Madam T. I'm in love with my children. And my mom, thank you for even signing up for Instagram. That's really funny. My mom don't know anything about no technology and no YouTube and nothing like that. Well, she hear of it, but she never have them. And she signed up just because she want to watch me. And I want to thank you for all my family and friends who support me through this whole process. Thank you so, so much for making it a great season. And I want to thank my fans. I started out with one subscriber, and I have today, I think, 299. And I want to get monetized, guys. So share it with your friends and share it with your family, because you did such an awesome job of supporting me this far. Just take me there, okay? I need to support my son. I need to do all of that. And another thing, I want you guys to go and my sweet gratitude to go buy a body butter to help me to keep up with this, to pay editors, to do what I need to do to make sure this season could continue. Thank you for sending me love. Thanking you for showing up at the watch party. Hopefully next season when we launch, you all could just join me at watch party and we could chat. Hopefully we'll have our guests there as well and we'll show up. But I'm getting ready to record my new season and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about my new guests. I'm excited about everything. But let's take a step back and finish up what we came here for. I want to thank each of my guests for showing up for me the way you did. See, I have a whole guest book, and I hope to fill it up with all the beautiful people that God sent to grace my present. And I love and respect each and every one of you. And I thank you for being so honest and authentic with me. And thank you for showing up and supporting your friend and your sister and your just a stranger. Thank you for supporting me as much as you do. And I pray that God blessed every single thing that you guys are doing, all of your endeavors, every single thing, all of the platforms that you guys are on. I hope God just continue to bless each and every one of you richly. And for the ones who are launching new things, I just ask that God will send you the vision carriers that you need to help you to expand everything that you're expanding. Thank you. I'm looking forward to season 3. And don't forget to subscribe on all major platform. Tea with my sweet gratitude. And don't forget, I am your host, Tamara Gordon, and I love you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little time with me today. God bless you richly. I hope this conversation brings you a sense of peace and hope. And if you find this episode helpful, please subscribe to this podcast and leave a review. Your feedback helps us reach more women in need of healing. And remember to follow us on social media at Tea with My Sweet Gratitude for update and community support.